And having a blanket can be a nice option today, just to explore using some props. No props required, always welcome. Beginning on your back, facing any direction, doesn't matter. Allow yourself to take up space. Knock your knees in like a tent and feet to the outsides of your mat or out wide. Hands resting at your sides. Feel your low back seal to the ground. So you might wiggle your feet a little bit until you feel the low back against the ground. And notice how you're breathing. Just noticing without changing the breath. Observing any qualities that stand out to you. Texture, duration. Feeling the duration of the inhale. And duration of the exhale. And slowing it down, taking a deep inhale, fill up. Sipping a little more air at the top. And deep clearing exhale. Letting the day go. Gently send your legs long. And you might scoot any props out of your way if you need. Cross your left ankle over the right. Reach arms behind you. Right wrist is going to grab left. So right palm to left wrist, pull up out of the waist. Anchor the left hip down. Arc over to the right. So keeping head low, shoulders low. You can crawl shoulders over. Find a banana shape in the upper body. Body heavy to the ground. And let the arms stay around the head, either keeping hands on the wrist or let go of the grip, framing the head with the arms out wide like a goalpost. Option to drop one ear to the side, releasing the neck. And feeling the body nice and heavy, lengthen the side body. Warming up and releasing the spine. This is a really wonderful posture for anyone who's been sitting a long time, letting the spine lengthen. And feeling this lateral flexion. And while you're here, you might stay just as you are, or even find a little more depth in your arc, crawling shoulders one at a time, even further to the right, and then softening back into your edge. Keeping the jaw soft. Observing any thoughts coming and going, acknowledging them without chasing them. Just letting them go. And slowly make your way to center. Slowly walk shoulders, upper body to the center. Switch the cross of the ankle. Take a big morning stretch in between. Reach long behind you. Point your toes. And right ankle crosses over the left. Anchor your right hip down. Left palm finds right wrist. Pull up out of the waist. Arc over to the left. And notice here, if you'd like to go any further, and if so, maybe you walk your shoulders a little to the left, staying low, and then relax into your depth. Either hands keep the grip or come out wide, framing your face, palms to the sky. And if you took the neck release on the last side, I invite you to take it on this side, dropping one ear to the side. And just let your gaze come inward, or keep a sliver of light peeking through. Feeling the length on the side body, length in the abdomen, strong spine, flexible spine. Letting the day go. Soft breath. Noticing if you're holding your breath, just reset your breath at any moment. And slowly, maybe you stay right here or crawl even further to the left. Little movement of the shoulder. And settling back into your depth. Feeling how much length happens on the inhale. And whether you breathe deeper or arc deeper on your exhale, feeling that expansion. And slowly make your way back to center, a little crawl. Draw your knees into your chest for a child's pose on your back. This is a transitional pose. Let your shoulders come down, knees into the belly, and relax your feet. And when you inhale, you might feel the thighs against the belly. And then exhale, relax. Feel that compression, but the breath natural. Tuck your chin into your chest. Releasing the lower back and the hips. And gently send the left leg long. Keep your right knee into your chest. And right away, you can send the right leg up and over with keeping that bent knee, or you can bump your hips slightly to the right and then send the leg up and over. So bumping hips creates a little more space. One is not better than the other. It's just a nice option. And if you'd like to continue releasing the neck, you can drop one ear to one side. Let this twist happen from the core. A nice option is to bring a prop underneath your leg, maybe a pillow, a bolster, or a block under the calf. Relaxing your hands wherever feels nice to you. And observing if your mind is wandering far, far away, just bring it back to your breath. Feeling the inhales, feeling the exhales, coming into quiet. And practicing patience, knowing that everything is temporary. When something feels like forever, can we let go of knowing or wondering how long forever is? Slowly send the right leg up and over. Plant the right foot down. If you bumped your hips out to the right, bump them back to center. Send the right foot forward. Draw your left knee into your chest just for a moment here. And you can either send this left leg up and over with a bent knee right away, coming into your twist, or bump your hips just a little to the left, then go into your twist. And maybe you have a prop under the leg on this side. Noticing any differences side to side. You might have a higher setting of a block or pillow underneath the calf or thigh, or maybe no prop at all. Option to keep the knee bent or straighten the leg out to the side. And if you took that neck release on the last side, drop your ear to the other side, evening out your neck. Feeling this twist from the core. Shoulders stay grounded, rooted. Breath soft. Subtle sensation. Notice if you're squeezing anywhere. Can you allow yourself to soften? Slowly, we'll send that left leg up and over. Bump your hips back to center if you bumped them. Take one more big morning stretch. And then bring your hands by your sides. We'll press ourselves up so you can kind of roll to one side, press yourself up nice and easy. And coming into a seated head to knee, you can bring the left shin, left heel towards the left hip. So left knee down, a blanket under the hips and knee is a nice option. And the right leg will either be lengthened flat out to the ground, or you can have a bend in your knee. And we'll inhale, reach up, exhale, twist, and begin to fold over the right leg. So forehead might come to your knee right away and feel the low back release. And slowly, you can put your hands anywhere along the leg or the foot. Slowly send that Right leg forward, finding your edge, keeping the fold, keeping the forehead in contact with your knee. Feel that low back release and hamstring release. You can soften the ankle by coming more upright or go as deep as you like here. Sole of the foot meets the thigh, left foot meets the right thigh. And you can stack palms or blanket under your calf, keeping a micro bend in the knee. And if your leg comes all the way down flat, flex your toes in towards your face, press your heel away from you, and then relax. And it's okay to round your spine here. And just breathe. And as you inhale, you might find a little more length, maybe visualizing the crown of the head, reaching towards the top of the foot. And then folding, deepening, or just slowing the exhales down. Allow yourself to make any adjustments as you need. Slowly roll on up. Nice and easy movement here. Head comes up last. Take a little twist over your bent knee. Look over your back shoulder. And slowly keep the leg down, maybe the bend in the knee. We're going to move into a side bend. So legs stay the same. Right palm can come to left thigh. Reach left arm overhead. And lean over to the right. So deepening the side bend, feeling a difference with our orientation of gravity. Lateral side bend. And you're welcome to put props underneath the armpit, maybe a bolster outside of the thigh. You can relax the elbow there. Make a fist, relax your head there. And keeping tension out of your neck. And if you're very warm and bendy today, and your forehead is reaching down, your head on top of your knee, and you've captured your foot, maybe you draw your heart forward, shoulder back. Finding your sustainable depth and breath. If we lose the breath, we lose the foundation. Feeling the layers of tissue soften, fascia soften. And slowly come on up. Roll your shoulders back a little bit if you need. Switching sides, send the right foot to the left inner thigh. And notice here if you'd like that deep bend in the knee, micro bend, or leg flat towards the ground. Set yourself up and keep any props handy if you know you would like them, or feel free to explore using them. We'll inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist and fold over the lengthened leg. Forehead comes down, and maybe you start with your forehead at your knee. And then keep straightening the leg down with the forehead in contact with the knee, letting the knee be your pillow. Hands anywhere along the foot or the leg. They can be on the ground, relaxed. Feeling low back release, hamstring release. And as the layers of tissue soften, your leg will come closer to the ground. Round spine, relaxed neck, relaxed jaw. Letting go of effort. Wherever you are, take a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Maybe you fold a little deeper or stay just as you are. Slowly roll up. Little twist over the bent knee, look over the back shoulder. Going into our side bend, left palm to right thigh, right arm overhead, and lean into it. Notice if you'd like a prop or not. Maybe a bolster outside of the thigh, drop your elbow, make a fist for your head. Right arm relaxes overhead. And you can always keep your palm at your thigh. Maybe your hand captures your foot. And if your hand captures your foot, draw your heart forward. And honoring how very different it is side to side. So letting go of force. Relaxing into your variation, your depth. Letting this be a slow, healthy process and release. Preventing strain, preventing injury. Take a deep inhale, fill up. And deep exhale. And slowly come upright. We'll take a wide leg forward fold. Send your right leg long, so both legs are long in front of you. And you can come up, roll your shoulders back. If there's any discomfort in your neck or shoulders. And here, you're welcome to sit on a folded blanket or a block, pillow, cushion to elevate the sits bones a little bit. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hips with a flat back, fold forward. Notice where you want to come down, where you want to stop. You're welcome to put something in front of you to fold over, such as a bolster or a whole stack of things. You can have a block or a pillow, bolster at an angle to relax your forehead on. And you can put something under the knees as well. If you do, ensure it's of the same height. A rolled blanket, towel, blocks all work nicely, pillows. Maybe you have the bolster at an angle very high up, and the bend in the knees can be as high or as low as feels good in your body. And maybe you stay here, gradually lowering down and forward and down, feeling that long, strong spine. If you're not using a prop at all in front of you, elbows can come down, interlace knuckles, relax your forehead there, or just relax your neck. And if you're very warm and bendy, stacked palms under the forehead, close to the ground is a nice option as well. Feel the length in both legs. Lengthen the spine, abdomen, low back release, hamstrings release. As the tissues soften, you might fold a little deeper, leading with the heart. So you hinge at the hips, but heart forward. Relaxing the shoulders. Checking in with your breath. Letting the breath continuously flow. Resetting it at any time if you lose that natural rhythm. And checking in with your thoughts. Can they come back to the breath? If you're floating far, far away, slowly come upright. Walking your hands in towards your hips, head comes up last. Snuggle your left shin forward. And then the right shin on top. So in your upright seat, we'll take fire log or double pigeon. Right foot just above left knee. And your shins are creating a little box. And you might have a big gap between the calves. If this causes pain in your knees, slide your foot down your calf until you find an angle that feels good in your hips. And if there is still discomfort, you can slide your heel towards your pubic bone And they might be staggered one in front of the other, sitting tall here. So finding your position of comfort where you can be still, feel the outer hip sensation, hips opening. And a blanket between the shins is a nice option for grounding sensation. If that big gap is distracting in any way, over time, that gap will close as the outer hip opens. Relax your hands wherever feels nice to you. If the gap between the shins is closed right away and your hips are very open, you're welcome to fold forward, hinging forward, and then walk your hands forward, long spine. Your chest might come over your calf. Relax your chin into your chest. Maybe elbows come down or your head comes to a block. So observing where stillness happens for you without losing breath, without discomfort in your knees. Coming back into quiet if the mind is racing. Letting any sounds near and far happening around you just be part of the background. And as you hold this posture, you might add or take away a prop as the outer hips open. You might feel that gap closing, or that you want to reposition your foot somewhere along the leg. And slowly we'll move the foot, switching sides. So right shin down, left shin on top. Find your position. It might be very different side to side. So starting with your foot just above the knee on your thigh, feeling how does that feel in the outer hips? And walking the shin down the leg as you need. So if even bringing the foot towards the knee feels like too much, staying low on the calf is fine. Knowing everything is an offering, and heels staggered out wide is a nice option as well. Keeping a tall spine. And here, observing, would you like to add a blanket on between the shins? Find that grounding sensation. You can fold as many layers as whatever thickness you need, or taking away as you need. So knowing you don't have to stay still the entire time. Make the adjustments as the body tells you that you've created space, or if you need a little more support. Relaxing your hands. Feeling outer hip sensation, anchored sensation. Energy from the crown of your head all the way down to the coccyx, the tailbone. One long line of energy. If you folded on the last side and you haven't done so on this side, observe if it's safe to do so. Slightly leaning forward, feeling if sensation stays in your hips, and if it even in the slightest migrates to your knees. I encourage you not to fold, but evening yourself out if you did fold and it feels okay on this side. Slowly coming upright. We'll make our way onto hands and knees, blanket under the knees if there's any tenderness. So just a little pivot of the body. And we'll come into lizard or dragon pose. You're welcome to use blocks under your hands or under your feet, stepping the left foot outside the left hand. And hands can come down to the mat, palm down, or fist down, noticing if there's any pain in your wrists. Stepping your foot wide to the edge of the mat and your shoulder into the knee, knee into the shoulder. Notice here if you'd like to stay upright, relaxing your neck, or come down to forearms. And you might put a block under the head or a bolster underneath you, finding your variation. Sometimes 2 bolsters is a really nice option under the belly and under the head. Just finding a way to be still, feeling the hamstring, glute, hips release. Relaxing your neck and making any adjustments with your props as the depth changes for you. Staying with it, feeling this fiery sensation, fire in a good way, warmth, circulation, feeling that tightness loosen up. And observing any emotions that come up, as we tend to store a lot of emotion in the hips. Let it flow freely, acknowledging it, and letting it go. Coming back to the breath. And so in the same idea of not chasing our thoughts, we also may benefit from not running from them. Just acknowledge what comes up, acknowledging anything that comes up. And coming back to the moment in the breath if you do feel yourself getting carried away. And slowly step the left leg back. You can find a few wiggles motion in between, this intuitive motion in between. Stepping the left knee back to meet the right. Step your right foot outside of your right hand. And here, your palms are down. Right knee into right shoulder, shoulder into right knee, and your foot is towards the edge of your space or just a little wider. And notice here if you want to stay upright, maybe on fists, maybe on forearms, relaxing your neck. Maybe you have a bolster underneath you or two, couch cushion, pillows. And if you had something under your head on the last side, maybe you have that same thing, like a block under your head on this side. Relaxing into it. Evening yourself out here. Let it be fiery in a good way, facing ourselves, breathing through it. You can always come up higher if that feels that there's any discomfort, or send your leg a little wider. Wherever you are, deep inhale, deep exhale. Relaxing anywhere you're gripping, maybe you flip your palms. Keep the jaws soft. And slowly press yourself up. Find a little movement in the right leg, intuitive movement. And step the right knee back to meet the left. We'll take a child's pose with knees wide here. Option for a bolster underneath the head and the heart, or block or no prop at all. You can always have a blanket under the head. Sliding the knees wide, big toes touch. And maybe you have no prop today, so just feeling if you want something close in, nice and grounding, or if the ground is the most grounding for you today. So you can lower to any height, spread your fingers wide, crown of the head reaching forward, tailbone reaching behind you. Feel the low back release, abdomen release, hips release. And notice sensation and length in the limbs, the arms. If you feel discomfort in the shoulders, you can slide the arms slightly back. Feeling the heart melt and the belly melt into the earth. Nice, deep, nourishing breaths, slowing down. And slowly press yourself up. Walk your hands towards your knees. Draw your knees together. Moving into Virasana, hero pose. You're welcome to stay sitting on your shins just like this and upright. A blanket under the knees if there's any tenderness, or folding your mat in half. And another option is to bring your feet apart, let your hips sink between your heels, and pay attention to sensation in the knees. You can slide your knees a little bit apart here, staying upright. Or maybe you begin to recline, reclining to your depth of comfort, either a tall block and medium block behind you. You might have nothing behind you too, which works great. So you'll lower down one elbow and then the other, and find one block at the shoulder blades and one block at the head. So this is a nice height. You'll feel the heart lift, heart open up, and the quads release. If you do not have blocks and you have a pillow or a bolster, that's a nice option to lay over as well. So feel free to slide that behind you. And then you can use this one elbow and then the other, laying down. And if you feel the body would like to go all the way down to the floor today, feel free to, and use the strength of your hands on your ankles. Or maybe one elbow comes down and then the other just like before. So hands at your heels or on your feet, one elbow and then the other. And lower down, nice and even chin into your chest. Reach arms up and overhead. Puff up your chest. And maybe slowly draw the knees a little closer together, being mindful of any discomfort in the knees. If so, you want to come more upright. Feeling the psoas, the quads, full abdomen, chest release. And keeping with the breath, noticing if you hold your breath or if there's any force or tension. And knowing you don't have to go 100% if you've gone 100% before. Just taking it easy. And slowly press yourself up, hands to your heels, elbows help you up one at a time, and then hands. Swing the legs out to one side, bringing the feet in front of you. We'll make our way back down to our backs. So you can lay onto blocks or bolster if you like. I'm going to use this bolster just for a nice option. Nice supported heart opening option. Soles of the feet flat on the ground. You can lower down or bring hands by your hips and coming down. Then let knees come out wide once you're down. Soles of the feet together. Supine butterfly. Feel yourself rooting in the ground. Heart open. And you might not have anything underneath you, and that's okay. Same benefits. Feel the hips open, thighs relaxing, heart open. Palms up if you'd like to receive, or down to let something go. Maybe one hand to the heart and one to the belly. Taking a deep inhale and deep exhale. Feeling the breath slow down, mind slow down, rooting back into the earth. Open heart to the universe. And you're welcome to stay here or take any other shape as your final resting shape. A nice traditional Shavasana with legs long and arms long at your side is a nice option with or without props. Maybe a bolster under the head and the back or under the knees. Blocks work as well. Getting as creative with your props as you like, or not using any at all. Set yourself up where you can truly let go and be still. If you want something more awakening, I invite you to come up to that meditative seat. Get out your last wiggles. Take a deep inhale and deep exhale. The next few minutes are yours in silence. Enjoy your Shavasana. And slowly, if you're ready to move on with your night, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And if it's safe in the shape you've chosen, rock your head side to side. You're welcome to stay and rest. Otherwise, make your way to one side with bent knees, using your arm as a pillow or an actual pillow. Feeling the weight into the ground, body heavy, mind soft, breath soft. Feeling this energetic transition. You're welcome to stay here on your side, or gently press yourself up with your hands if you're truly ready to move on back into that comfortable seat we began in. And just feeling yourself root down, anchor down. Noticing a difference in any sensations from when we began to now. Inhaling, send hands up overhead. Reach for what you want. Exhale, draw hands to heart center, palms touch, thumbs into the sternum. I invite you to further reflect on what you're calling in. Reflect on anything that came to your mind in your practice. And if nothing comes to mind, perhaps the thought, something you're calling in, a reflection might greet you in your dreams or greet you when you wake. Take a moment here to reflect. Wrapping up our thoughts. Thank you for sharing your practice with me and showing up for yourselves, beginners or winners. Together we bow. Namaste.